This is the attorney I hired, James Knox, from Jones, Hacker, and Murphy, and Julie Nicolo. I hired them after going through this court situation that I'm in with where I had a public defender or a assigned counsel, and I didn't feel he was up for going to trial. There's a lot of search and seizure, illegal search and seizure issues and so forth. So I thought I would retain a counsel because I wanted to go to trial, and I stated it here very carefully. They also sent me on a CL 508, which is sending you a sick prisoner to a mental hospital, which was crazy. So I asked James, I said, "Are you up for this if I hire you?" Because I already had a plea deal of time served, which was 5 months in jail I already had done, and 5 years probation. So I wasn't going to take the deal because there was 4 or 5 cops in my house for like 30 minutes without a warrant, searching every room and every drawer in the house. And I put it to James, I said, I'm going to really go to trial on this, so are you up for this? And he said yes. So I hired him $15,000, and we went through, got him all the information, and he was looking into it for about 3 weeks and called me down there and basically changed his tune after I paid him the 15 grand and acted as if, well, maybe you should take a plea deal. And I said, well, I already had the plea deal. It was essentially the same plea deal. So I said, no, I really want to go to trial. Let's do this. I already put the time in. Somebody needs to go forward with this. And so at this point, after meeting with him that time, I said, I'll just cross-examine myself, and I'll just get an attorney to help me. And he's saying, I understand your frustration, but before you make any decisions, I recommend not putting up the signs, because I was going to put up signs. And this is me responding, and I said, what options? You already gave me my options yesterday. I basically could have got the same deal for free with the assigned counsel. So after we had a few more conversations, this is the other thing, is the police came through my house. They had an investigation on recovering the gold coins that were missing from my house after 5 cops were in my house for 30 minutes when I'm locked up in the car. And then I finally said, I'll plead to this Class A misdemeanor, menacing charge, no probation, order protection, or we'll go to trial. And time served too, which was the time I already served. So that was my firm last offer. And then this is me researching the night before or a couple of days before we went in for the pretrials. And I'm going through a bunch of stuff. And the Second Amendment is fully incorporated. So you're allowed to have weapons in your house for self-protection. So it seems like pretty straightforward that what I had and what happened should have been dismissed based on all of the other allegations that the police, their depositions are absolute lies. They've changed their stories. They contradict one another. They contradict the witness. And I was at a point here where I went to him and I said, so you're telling me that sworn oaths and pleas are complete bullshit and no one follows them? And he says, basically, yeah, that's how it works. So he says basically the cops can lie and the prosecutor's going to let them lie because the people are going to believe the people are the police and the prosecutors over you. So I was very frustrated with this whole thing, and this is where back to the LC 508 that I was on right here. And it's ridiculous what I went through. They sent me unlawfully down there. So then the trooper Anderson or trooper Miller is going to change the story because he said, so I had 2 unlawful searches of the house at different times, and he's basically saying, well, you're just going to have to deal with it. And I said, well, let's go to trial then. Here I am talking about the oath, and it was just very frustrating right up to the time we went in. And This is after we got done with the pretrial, which they coerced me into, him and Julie both, basically saying, well, you're going to end up going out the back door in handcuffs. And I said, I can't go to jail right now. This is just the pretrial. And then that's what Julie said. She goes, you're going to go out the back door in handcuffs. And I said, well, I can't do it right now. And I said, we'll have a month for trial. And then James says, well, no, you won't have a month for trial. They want to go to trial right away. And so I was like, well, what are you talking about? How can they do that? They have to give us time. You guys haven't done anything with subpoenas to get witnesses that I wanted to do. So at this point, I was telling them, I'm just going to withdraw it because you guys both coerced me into this. And they basically became cheerleaders for the DA. I mean, it switched overnight. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was all alone up there. And here I am. I had another attorney that I have talked to. I haven't had the money to come up with a retainer, which I was supposed to have Monday. So now he has called the judge and ordered me to go in today to face the judge. So I don't know if they're going to throw me in jail because I wanted to withdraw my plea. So this is what I got from him. I'm just saying I would not hire James Knox if you want to go to trial, because he will wait to the last minute and then he will put coercion on you and force you into taking a deal when you're not ready to. So I wouldn't hire him.